Welcome to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real, the podcast where people like you get the practical solutions and support you need to permanently lose the physical and mental weight so you can feel better and live the life you really want to live in the body and mind you really want to be living in. If you're looking to overcome your stress eating, overeating, binging behaviors, and move to a place of food and body freedom, as well as find more meaning and more moments of joy in life, you are in the right place. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real. Today, we are diving into a topic that comes up every single year at this time: how to prevent holiday weight gain without missing out on the joy of the season. So, the holidays are often a time of abundance, abundant food, abundant gatherings, and sometimes abundant stress. But with a little bit of intention, we can really navigate this season in a way that aligns with our health goals while still enjoying what really does make it special. So, in this episode, I'm getting really, really practical. I'm going to share very practical behavioral strategies as well as emotional and mental tools to help you just really feel empowered going into this around food during the holidays. It's really important to remember that a few days of overeating, so Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, maybe New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, they're not going to derail your health or drastically impact your weight. Our bodies are resilient and really designed to handle occasional indulgences. What actually often trips people up is not the holiday meal itself, but what happens afterward. And I did this for years and years and years. We tend to let one indulgent day spiral into weeks of overeating. That usually turns into the thought, well, I'll start fresh January 1st. So this can often extend from like Halloween all the way then into January. And this is the mindset that often leads to eating more throughout the entire holiday season, which can make it really harder to get back on track later in January. So the key here is to really enjoy the holidays and the food that comes with the holidays, the food that you love. But we want to really have a plan so that it doesn't snowball into a months long pattern. So by staying mindful and planning ahead, you can really avoid that trap and still enjoy the season and the food very guilt free. So, I am literally just going to go through a list of strategies that can be very helpful. You want to maybe pick a few. You don't need to do all of these things. There's going to be different strategies that align with different people just due to who they are, due to how they eat, due to their environment and what the holidays are like for them. So I'm going to start with the behavioral strategies. These are the very practical, actionable strategies. Number one, you really want to plan ahead. And I'm going to talk about this at the end as well about planning, but you really want to plan ahead, but you want to stay flexible. It's both. We're planning ahead, but we are also staying flexible. If you know you're heading to a big meal or a holiday party, really plan your day around it. Have a balanced breakfast with lots of protein, and if you're going to do lunch with lots of protein, lots of veggies. So we're always going to load up on protein and fiber to keep you satisfied and prevent arriving at the event or arriving at that meal overly hungry. So during the holiday season, you really want to consider, and actually this is forever and always a great tip, always start out with at least 30 to 40 grams of protein in the morning, and you could in lunch, and you can also add in some veggies for fiber. So remember, plans don't have to be rigid. Flexibility really helps you to adapt without going into the guilt and the shame spiral that we're always talking about that ends up sabotaging what we really want to be doing. All right. So just kind of reiterating, at all meals, at all gatherings, at all parties, fill your plate with lean proteins. Okay. So you want to also, if you really want to get into this, you want the protein to be lean. So fill your plate with lean proteins and vegetables first. And this strategy is really going to help you feel fuller longer while leaving room for the treats that you really do want to enjoy. Another idea is, hey everyone, quick interruption to tell you about something really exciting for me. It's a product that I have become an ambassador for, and it's a product that I love. So, if you struggle to get in enough protein in your day without blowing your calorie budget, you are definitely not alone. This is one of the things my clients struggle with the most is getting in the amount of protein they actually need to be maintaining or losing weight, or if they're trying to build muscle. So, again, whether you're working towards weight loss, building muscle, or just trying to stay energized, finding a protein option that's both effective and enjoyable and convenient is really, really tough. And I have found a solution for you. It's very new to the market. It is called David Protein Bars. I was offered an early taste test of these before they were out to the public, and I fell in love. Each bar packs 28 grams of protein, so almost 30 grams of protein, just 150 calories. There is no bar out there right now that has that much protein and that little calories. And there is absolutely no sugar. They've been a game changer for me with flavors like fudge brownie, cake batter, blueberry pie. These bars are not just a protein fix, they're a treat I actually look forward to. They taste so, so good. I have been having one most evenings for a snack because they're so delicious. I love just looking forward to it. But I also have used them when I don't have time to prep food for like a post workout fuel meal. I've also used them as a way to manage cravings for both myself as well as encouraging my clients to use these as a way to manage cravings. David bars have really become my go to. So, what's even better when you use my link to purchase David protein bars, you are not just fueling your goals, you are also supporting this podcast. Every order that you use through my link helps me to keep sharing tips and strategies to help you live your healthiest, happiest life. So head over to davidprotein.com/Heather, and Heather is in all capital letters, or you can use the link in the show notes below and give these bars a try. Make getting your protein in easy, delicious, keeping the calories low, and you're also supporting the podcast. Again, that link is davidprotein.com/Heather, all in capital letters. And if you can't remember, again, there's a link below in the show notes. Thanks for supporting the show. To use the one plate tactic. So instead of grazing, commit to one plate. Serve yourself what you love, eat it slowly, savor every bite. This approach helps you feel satisfied without kind of mindlessly overeating throughout the entire day. I do little things as well, like if I'm doing the baking or the cooking, or there's just food laid out somewhere for everyone to nibble on. I really try to keep a piece of gum in my mouth because during that time, it helps me not just mindlessly grabbing things. So that's a very practical strategy to that maybe you want to employ where you kind of have some sugar-free gum that you can keep in your mouth throughout the day until the meal actually happens. Another one, which of course hydrate, so drinking water throughout the day, definitely drinking a glass of water between alcoholic beverages really help reduce overeating and can keep you feeling good. Sometimes thirst can disguise itself as hunger. So, really staying hydrated, keeping a water bottle with you at all times can be helpful. Another strategy is really staying active. This is kind of part of the problem during the holiday season. For many of us, it's colder, we're not outside as much, we're just simply not as active. So, thinking about keeping your exercise routine through the holidays can be super, super helpful. If you don't have an exercise routine, movement doesn't have to be formal exercise. Just going for walks, playing with your kids, that sort of thing. Activity helps manage stress as well and can really support that energy balance that we're looking for during this season. All right, we're going to move on to emotional strategies. This is a big one. I did a episode, it was maybe a year or two ago, more on this focus of just dealing with the holidays. For many of us, they bring emotional challenges from family dynamics, just to stress of everything extra that's going on. And those things can really trigger overeating for many of us who use food to deal with emotions. So here are some emotional strategies and cognitive strategies as well. You really want to work to reframe the holidays. So instead of focusing solely on food, you really want to think about on purpose what else makes the season meaningful to you. Maybe it's connection, maybe it's traditions, maybe it's even moments of rest. Food is one part of the celebration, but not the whole. So you really want to allow your mind to open up and include some of these other things that can make the holidays meaningful for you. The second one is practicing gratitude. So before meals, take a moment to feel grateful, not just for the food, but the people around you, the season itself. Gratitude really helps shift your mindset from scarcity, like I have to eat it all now, to abundance. And that is really a mindset that is really helpful to get through this time of year without excess food. Third strategy would be pause before eating. If you feel emotional urges to eat, pause and ask yourself, am I truly hungry? Am I seeking comfort or distraction? This pause can help you decide what you really need. Now, the pausing is easier said than done. And that's why on days like this, literally having a piece of gum in your mouth can help, because if you're going to eat the thing, you have to take the gum out of your mouth. And that gives you a moment of pause. It helps you to pause. So that's another vote for the gum, I guess. Okay. And then let's talk about mental strategies. Let's talk about how we want to think about eating during the holidays. So, we really, really want to work on ditching the all or nothing thinking, the black and white thinking. Again, one holiday meal or one day of overeating is not going to derail your goals. Avoid that trap of thinking, I've blown it, so I might as well eat everything, which is a trap I fell into for years and years. Instead, remind yourself one choice is just that. It is literally just one choice. Focus on enjoyment, not overindulgence. Decide ahead of time to enjoy your favorite foods mindfully, mindfully, mindfully. Eat slowly, savor the flavors, notice how they make you feel. You really can do such, like the holiday eating can be such a different world by simply, I am going to say simply, just using mindful eating during that time. I say simple because it's not always easy if you haven't practiced it, but I want to throw that in there because it's a really, really powerful one to help reduce the overeating throughout the holidays. Number three, this is one of my favorites. Set intentions, not rules. Do not set rigid rules for yourself. Those rules, I had a episode a while back about the rebel within. When we set rigid rules around food, inevitably, you are going to want to break them, and then the rebel comes out and it's all this overeating. So, no rigid rules. Instead, set intentions. Sometimes I use the word guidelines. Set intentions like, I want to feel good in my body and enjoy the holiday season. Something like that, that mindset encourages balance without creating guilt. I want to feel good in my body and enjoy the holiday season. Challenge your food narratives. If you catch yourself thinking, I shouldn't eat this, reframe it to, I'm choosing to eat this because I love it and I want to enjoy it fully. Remove that guilt and shame that allows you to enjoy food without overdoing it. I cannot stress it enough. And there are so many episodes in this podcast about it because it is one of the number one reasons people overeat, binge eat, emotionally eat, all those things. That you get into that black and white thinking, I shouldn't eat this, I need to eat this. Reframe it to, I am choosing to eat this because I love it and want to enjoy it fully, and then do it. Choose it and enjoy it fully. Thinking around it removes that guilt and shame and will literally create a situation where you will not then overeat the next day, 2 days later, that kind of thing. So, really practicing a food narrative that is helpful to you and not a narrative that creates more shame and then more overeating. The holidays do not have to feel like a battle with food. They did for me for years and years and years, and through doing all this work, really truly now I can say there is total freedom in the holidays for me. It is just not a thing anymore. And I've worked with lots of clients who've been able to get into a space where the holiday is just not a thing anymore. So you really want to be able to enjoy the holidays and not feel this pressure of this impending doom around the food and my weight and what my body's going to be like in January and all those things. So By combining some of those behavioral strategies, that emotional awareness, and a very compassionate mindset with yourself, you can navigate this season with confidence and ease. Remember, it is not about perfection, it is about progress, it's about connection, it's about enjoying the moments that matter most during this season. All right. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So share this episode with a friend, tag me on social media with your favorite holiday strategy. It's really important, I think, to spread the message that wellness and joy can coexist this season while still enjoying the foods you love and having January come around and feeling really amazing in your body and not full of shame and regret. And now I've got to get these extra 5 pounds off, like all that. You really can have what you want to have and still end up in January feeling healthy and well. All right, until next time, take care of yourself and remember you are definitely worth the effort. We will talk soon. Did you know you can find a lot more help from me on my website? Go to heatherheynen.com. Heinen is spelled Heynen, and there you will find links to my online courses, how I work with clients one-on-one, as well as online with my coaching and counseling services that I offer. The information in this podcast is intended to provide a broad understanding and knowledge of healthcare topics. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered complete and should not be used in place of advice from your physician or healthcare provider. We recommend you consult your physician or healthcare professional before beginning or altering your personal exercise, diet, or supplementation program.